pagkatapos ngang hindi matuloy ang laban ng Manny Pacquiao at Terence Crawford dahil sa kakulangan ng investor para maituloy ang bakbakan sa Abu Dhabi. Agad-agad nabuhay ang second option na pwedeng makalaban ni Manny Pacquiao. Ito nga si Errol Spence Jr. Pero sa kasamaang palad, mukhang hindi na interesado si Errol Spence Jr. kay Manny Pacquiao sapagkat wala na daw itong titulong hawak. At iba na ang punteriya ni Errol Spence Jr., ang Cuban boxer na si Yordenis Ugas na siyang na-promote bilang WBA Super Champion ng welterweight dahil sa hindi pagiging aktibo ni Manny Pacquiao, kaya binawi sa kanya ang titulo at naging recess-in champion sa WBA at napunta nga ang titulo kay Ugas. Dito muling nabuhayan ng loob si Viky Garcia sapagkat siya ang pangatlong opsyon ni Manny Pacquiao at matagal-tagal na din itong naghihintay na labanan siya ng ating pambansang kamao at matutupad na nga ang hinihiling nito na pagbibigyan siya ni Manny Pacquiao dahil wala nang ibang option pa si Manny Pacquiao. At ito na rin ang pagkakataon para ipaghiganti ni Manny Pacquiao si BeRnAbe Concepcion, ang nag-iisang Pilipino boxer na nakalaban ni Viky Garcia. Pinatumba at tinalo sa pamamagitan ng technical knockout na naganap 9 na taon na ang nakakalipas. Nasa panahong yon ay may edad pa lang si Viky Garcia at BeRnAbe Concepcion na 24 at naglaban sila sa featherweight division. Nakataya ang titulong NABF featherweight title at WBO NABO featherweight title. At ito ang highlights ng kanilang laban mga tol. Panoorin natin.
The whole boxing world may open up to it.
And for certainly not Garcia. He is,
the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but no
National PAL champion 2004.
point. He pointed out the knock.
In his previous fight on May 6th of 2000. Both fighters taking their
open up a little bit, start jabbing, throwing combinations to the body and things like that. And Concepcion right now, his power on those gloves and the punches that he's not landing.
a lot more disciplined in the first round compared to when we saw him in the first round.
I think against a counterpuncher, he can be a little more, he can get his rhythm in a fight.
Closer as the first round comes to an end. Scheduled for 10. This is the second round scheduled for 10 in the featherweight division, next level. Meanwhile, the contender, Viky Garcia, in the black next, if he can take care of business.
So that, he has to really approach these fights with more fight and maybe build some confidence over the first few rounds.
And you're absolutely right, Al, but if Concepcion is here to win this fight, he can really rattle this young kid.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's true.
Antonio, it seems as if you don't like the pace that Garcia is establishing right now.
The pace, pressure, pressure, pressure. You can't let this guy, he's too good of a
Put on the board in terms of activity. Garcia also talked about the overhand right of Concepcion, which is also punch in.
Garcia training for this fight in Riverside, California, at the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Of city.
So far, sometimes that's a good counterpunch by Concepcion. He needs to do a lot more of that. I see a strong power jab, but you don't see a lot of.
And the Garcia family, as Antonio alluded to, Margarito, and also Robert's brother Danny, who trains Victor Ortiz, who we will see on
126-pound weight class, featherweights. Viky Garcia in the black trunks. Innovations here at Showtime.
We are nothing if not interactive here at Showtime.
I don't know how to do any of that.
He controls as the tempo of fights, and there was a nice right hand by BeRnAbe Concepcion. This is not the way Concepcion needs to make this fight. You can't let.
It's going to be very hard to open him up. He reminds me of a young Oscar.
And, even though he's a counterpuncher, he throws 65 punches around. That's what.
Concepcion missing with the countering right. Now goes to the body with the right hand, chopping him down. Ooh, stinging.
Like Garcia is not allowing him
with the lack of action here in the third round.
Center where he was training to try and really connect with his boxing training.
In the red, Viky Garcia, out of Oxnard, California, born in Ventura by way of knockout.
Coming into this round, Garcia had landed 29 punches, 20.
As you take a look at total punches.
Yeah, a big edge for Garcia, and that's not as good a percentage as he normally left.
Garcia getting very close to dropping a big right hand on
Sorry, Antonio. Against Matt Remillard, when he fought him, both his brother Robert and dad both thought that he should go after Remillard a little earlier than he did, and he did come out in the 10th round. And maybe this fight is similar. You know, he can hurt him.
Nice countering right hand by Concepcion.
He's not getting close enough with the jab. And look at the difference in Garcia's jab. He's snapping his head back.
That's why the Garcia right's getting in from time to time.
Now Garcia moving forward. Garcia trying to find his range with the jab. Nice hook to the lead left.
There's that right by Garcia. We talked about the boxing family of Garcia.
I've seen before.
Yeah, and that can be a contributor to the fact that, like, again, his confidence, see his power. I mean, even when those punches don't land, they land on the glove and they land on the arms. You can feel that this guy is a solid puncher.
Our fans on Twitter taking note of the jab.
Have to close the show. This guy's not giving him any real resistance. He needs to step on the gas a little well for him moving forward into the championship fight.
Ooh! A right hand land.
This fight, and maybe the best punch that Garcia has landed. And for the first time, Concepcion looks like he's really on his heels.
Another lead
Fighter in there.
Yeah, a little bit too patient. Great closers, and that's what you need to be the mark of a superstar in boxing. You got to be a great closer.
Thrown. Mikey Garcia in black.
Concepcion coming out trying to fire the jab, but trouble.
Josh Barnett. Cormier coming up. And 3 coming to an end. Cormier breaking his hand, so it took a little long tournament to conclude.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And right now, it seems to me, Antonio Garcia is serious about trying to end this fight.
Yeah, he is. But he's doing a lot of headhunting. I mean, he has to dig something downstairs to the dad.
He listens
Rich on his punches. This is the mark of a good puncher that can generate leverage. He's never off balance.
11 out.
To be in the corner, let's bring in Chuck Tiampa for the unofficial.
Classic example. Garcia is a classic example of building his arsenal round by round.
Now, maybe fatigued as he fights.
Won a split decision, Concepcion. There's an and that maybe was an indication, Garcia.
If I had a critiquing to do against Garcia, I would say fight the guys like Lopez and Salido. You're going to have to break these guys down. You just can't.
The openings is a fighter. Round scheduled for 10 in the featherweight division, 126 pounds. Concepcion moving his hands now. Looking off his jab, trying to land the right cross. And how important is it to not only win, guys, but to look good when you're...
Be better for him at the negotiation table. You know, I mean, if you gain more fans, the networks are going to...
Will the networks go up to you and say, hey, you know, you won, but you didn't look great?
Is that he's the kind of fighter who will all of a sudden create it. So let's take a look. It's for the glove, some tape from the glove from BeRnAbe Fighter. But what he hopes for is a fighter that will...
And I know what you're saying, Al.
Yeah.
It's bring the best out of this guy. Make this guy fight like this. I mean, why should he come out his shell? But like I said, with me, it was always about my performance.
Balding right there for us.
And what that was, it was a clean 1-2 punch. Concepcion didn't see it.
So Concepcion in trouble as Garcia moves in. A minute and 4 to go in the round.
In some trouble.
Left hook, catches Concepcion again, followed by a stiff right hand. Now he pounds the button.
Yeah, he might not get him right now. He may get him right now, but a couple combination punches.
Concepcion on the ropes. They may stop it, and they do here in the 7th.
At natapos ang laban mga tol sa round 7 kung saan pinabagsak si BeRnAbe Concepcion ng Mexican Titan na si Mikey Garcia. Maganda din ang pinakita ng Pinoy pero hindi sumapat sa lakas ni Mikey Garcia. At ngayon ay lumalaban na si Mikey Garcia sa welterweight division, kung saan nandito ang timbang ni Manny Pacquiao. Dito na may paghihiganti ni Manny Pacquiao ang kababayan niya na pinabagsak ng isang Mexican fighter. Siguradong kayang-kaya ni Manny Pacquiao ang lakas ni Mikey Garcia sa welterweight. At kung sakali man-knockout ni Manny Pacquiao si Mikey Garcia at matalo, siguradong matutuwa si BeRnAbe Concepcion. Hanggang dito na lang mga tol, at muli, kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe sa akin channel, pakihit mo na ang subscribe button at notification bell at piliin ang all. Salamat.